Hello and welcome to the JR's Gaming Podcast, where we talk about the rise of Nintendo and what this great gaming franchise has in store for us in the future of gaming, and of course the country from which it was born, Japan. I'm your bloody hell, I've already messed up the intro. I'm your host, Judah Terry. This is season 2, episode 18, and I'm joined by not Rowan Fern or Eli. I'm joined by returning guest Matty Boi.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast again. This time you're not in my room, which is unfortunate. You're in your house with your microphone quality, which could be better, but it's good. At least you're here to record with me, because coincidentally Eli and Rowan both have tonsillitis and they're dying and they both can't talk, which is why you're amazing, Matt, to have come in again to join the podcast, because otherwise it would be another solo episode with me. Yes, it's a bit late, guys. I apologise. The audio of this is going out on Sunday, but here we are. Anyway, Matt, you've been on last episode and you're on again. Look, at this rate, you're going to become a member of the podcast. How have you been?
That is the plan. I've been well, thanks, man. Yeah, just I suppose chilling out, enjoying time off work and everything. What about you, mate? How you been?
Yeah, good. I mean, today was tiring. Like today, the podcast was the last thing on my mind. But we're doing it now. It's like Sunday evening recording this. I just got back from the cinema in Leicester. I went to the showcase, and I hate football fans basically because they ruined the day. I went to Leicester, bro. There's just loads and loads and loads. I'm talking thousands of football Leicester fans swarming the streets, acting like twats.
Making sure Judah's behaving, of course.
Yeah. I don't know, mate. I just go into Leicester and there's just loads and loads of people celebrating football. And I looked at it when I got home, and apparently the Leicester football team was promoted. But I was like, I don't care, and I didn't ask. Why do you have to throw a massive party that blocks the entire city? I'm joking. It's fine. If you're a Leicester fan listening to this, congratulations. But yeah, I went to the cinema, mate, and I saw the film Fall Guy. Have you heard of the film Fall Guy? Out?
I have wanted to watch it. So how was it? What did you think?
It was all right. It's got the actor in it. It's got one of the. It's got That's just a generic thing to say, isn't it? It's got the actor that played the guy in Barbie. I don't know his name. The guy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of his name. I can't remember his name. For some reason, I want to say Ryan Reynolds, but I don't think it is.
I think it is Ryan. Ryan Gosling? It's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
that's it. Ryan Gosling. Yeah, you've got it there.
I thought I heard Ryan somewhere.
It's a Ryan. It's a Ryan. That's what we know. It's not Reynolds, but it's Gosling. Ryan Gosling. He seems to have grown up a bit. Not grown up. He seems to have grown popular in the last few days, don't you think? Well, not days, but months since he's been. I've not really seen him about in the past few years, and now he's all of a sudden he's in all these films. Ryan Gosling.
Well, I think it's him trying to get into bigger movies, if you know what I mean, more action packed, trying to figure out where he should go next in his career, what movie should he start doing, what should he get known for? Is it an actual stunt man like Tom Cruise? Is it an emotional, is it a love actor? So I think he's trying to go for more action packed. I think kind of trying to follow Tom Cruise's kind of example of actually trying to become a stuntman, probably. He's stable.
I mean, this film just released. It seems that he's getting better and better. I didn't know about him until the last 2 years, I think, because he starred in Barbie, and then he starred in a film before that, and then it seems that his next films are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that's what happens in the acting industry. You're going to get replaced over time, and new actors are going to come in with better skills, and then they have the spotlight for a few years, and then they buzz off. Because if you think about it, I mean, Tom Cruise, I don't know, Chris Pratt, all these big actors. They're famous, but it's almost like they're not as famous as they once were, and now these new actors are coming up now, and then they're kind of taking the spotlight. It's kind of like you get the spotlight for a few years, and then if you're good enough, if you're in enough movies, think about Leonardo DiCaprio. He's probably one of the biggest actors out there right now, but he's getting older now. Yes, he's a great actor. He's won Oscars, but you can see him starting to fizzle out now. Now you think more Ryan Gosling now, not really Leonardo. They have the spotlight for a number of years, and then they start to move on and they just kind of retire. Because in being an actor myself in a film, it's it's hard work. It really is. But yeah, I don't know. I've just noticed that Ryan Gosling's been he's got more popular in the last few, like the last 2 years in the films that he's been in. And it was a good film. I'm not going to spoil it for any of you if you've not seen it. I would recommend it. It's very good. I was saying to my mate who I saw it with, it's quite interesting because it's like it's the life of a stunt man in a movie set. So they're filming on a set, obviously, a movie set based on a movie. Those are probably, think about it. It's got to be a hard film to film. Filming the life of an actor. Like, do you get what I mean? You're filming an actor pretending to be an actor. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, it's like a film. Yeah. So you're filming. There's a lot. Like, I think you have to, and it was very well pulled off. Like, I thought when you get mixed up and kind of lost in a ton of mirrored like images, if you know what I mean. Because honestly, if you're filming a movie, great stuff. It's just filming a movie. But if you're filming a movie about you're acting as an actor that's acting in a movie in the movie, it's like kind of, you know, I'm like, man, that's what kind of went on in the actual film, and I thought they did it very well. So it went well, man. I saw that movie, came home, and I'm like too tired, but I've got to record the podcast. But anyway, mate, you have news. Are you departing from F1? Is this true? Or are you moving on to another job? You've got it in the plan here.
Well, I mean, I suppose it just depends. I do want to go work for a team, and I'm thinking more like Mercedes or Williams.
Yeah.
That's, because the thing is like when you work for external, you work with the F1 vehicles. You're
Yeah.
involved, but you're not heavily, if that makes any sense. Where you don't
Mm.
tour the world
Mm.
with like those teams. You're not part of them. You don't join with them.
Yeah.
But if I was to go with a team, I
Yeah.
would be able to do that. I'd be heavily involved with that team. I'd go to every Grand Prix with that team, and that's something that
Mm.
you
Mm.
know you got to really think about, like hold that special to you. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Because think about it, you get paid to travel the world,
Yeah.
right? Have a lot of experience in other countries. You
Mm.
have experience with um, I don't know. I would say more like high tech things because obviously there's a lot more money going into F1. So if you work with
Mm.
external companies, they don't really make as
Mm.
much as F1 would be. So there's just
Yeah.
like a lot more. You're more competitive as well because your wages is impacted by who wins. So
Mm.
whoever wins, you know what I mean. Like you get certain bonuses. So you're constantly striving for the best for your team and to get
Mm.
up there, and that's what you want to do.
So you basically, because you're working for a team that's under F1, now
Oh yeah.
you're thinking actually move, because you've got that experience now, like you might get accepted into an actual team, like Mercedes, or the
Yeah,
Red Bull
yeah,
team or
could
something.
do. Yeah, I mean, it just depends. It's
Mm.
not always about experience. Obviously, experience helps you,
Yeah.
um, you know, get anywhere. But it just depends on who's interviewing. You know, what I mean, like someone could just be lenient and could actually just be like, "Do you know what, yeah,
We'll
you're a
have
bit of
you
a
on.
hard worker. You haven't got that much experience or whatnot, but we'll give you a shot and we'll see what you're made out of." And that's all it
Mm.
takes. It's just that chance
That
to be
chance of,
given,
yeah.
and you can progress. But I would say with the experience I've got, I
Mm.
wouldn't see why not. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's just up to them.
it's just like when you go to an interview, the annoying thing is these days, particularly in the UK, it's kind of like get prejudiced of what you've earned, like from what you've graduated from, like what you've got in experience. It's not about who you are as a person, because I bet you bottom dollar there's a lot of people out there that aren't academically smart, but they're very hard working and they could like do really well in a high paid job, but they don't give you, I don't know, they it's an annoying thing. You can't rock up to an interview and be like, look at me, I am very, very kind and nice and funny and I'm a comedian. You can't do that. They'll be like, no, fuck off, you can't get the job. But if you go to a job, I guess if you do have that attitude and you be like, look, this is my attitude, I'm coming to the job, this is what I'm going to offer in my attitude, but then you give low grades, as in like low experience, let's just say you didn't do that well in college, blah 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 blah, wouldn't the job interview be like, no, I'm going to choose this guy over here with like a PhD? But sometimes, if you, as you just said, if you get a lenient person that are like, they look at you, they evaluate you, like this guy seems like okay, look at his grades, not the best, but he looks keen. We'll take him on. I mean, that kind of proves to you that, I guess, that the job sector is hard, because there's so many people out there that are missing their opportunities. Like, they're really hard working, but they just don't have that chance because they're academically not there, which is kind of annoying, I guess, with the whole UK thing.
Yeah, certainly. But I mean, like I say, I could go into F1.
Mm,
Uh,
like a proper team.
yeah, like an actual proper team
Mm.
is what I'm thinking.
Ever thought
But
of actually driving one of the cars?
oh, mate, I don't think I've got enough time. To be fair,
Yeah,
a lot of these drivers, I suppose it's a lot like football. When you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about footballers like actors, they're kids. They grow up
Mm,
with that experience, um, and that push and that knowledge and that know-how. And then because their parents are already there, they get them into it. You know
mm,
what I mean? So they're not having to really work hard, like, for example, like their parents, did. Like for me,
mm,
well, it's like them that you have to race young, and then you go
mm.
into like you win races, you get well known, you go into F3, F2, then F1.
F3,
But
F2.
yeah, so you've
That
got Formula,
exists.
yeah, you've got Formula 3, you've got
What?
Formula 2, then you've got
Why am I
Formula
learning
1.
this
Formula
now?
1's,
I
yeah,
thought
Formula
F1 was the
1's
only
uh,
one.
no, you've got 3 and 2, then you've got Formula E, which is the electric version of F1. Well, Formula
What?
1, basically, yeah.
Why don't I hear my sister yakking on about F4 then? Or F3?
I don't know. It's like they've got a motorbike version
Oh.
of F1. So
But F1, I guess, is the most popular one.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, like F1. You've got to think about it is in like tiers and stuff. Like for example, like if I was to say this, like
Yeah.
you would be probably like F3,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
F1's sort of kind of like PewDiePie. You know what I mean? Like someone that is huge on YouTube, like really really big. That's like
Mm,
kind of the levels we're talking at here. Like your stage compared to his is this massive like jump. It's just
yeah.
like the expectations because you've got to be able to bring a lot of, I suppose,
Skill
like
set.
um, yes, skill set, but results. It's mainly results. If you
Good
can't bring
results.
results and you can't
Yeah.
get what team needs, then you're not doing what they've brought you on to do, and they'll just bin you off because
That's basically just like
what's
life then, I guess,
yeah.
in just general things. Like, I guess if you're a YouTuber like me, I mean, trying to be a YouTuber, I guess, you have your own schedule, you have your own sort of, like, there's like a 50-50 chance you'll blow up, and then you are the decider of what happens to your fame, your success. And like, if people don't, if you, that's why you can get cancelled. You have to be careful what you say, you have to be careful what you do, because if people, but you have to be yourself to an extent. You can't be fake. Like I find that some YouTubers, that they fake themselves, and then the true, like, they slip up and they do something the fans didn't see them for, and then they get cancelled or something. Like but yeah, what my point is, I'm guessing that just like it's quite a brutal area. So you got like F1 drivers, actors. You got to produce excellent results for people to promote you and keep you up on that pedestal. But let's be honest, that pedestal won't last. You know, the most famous people out there, they eventually will just be replaced by someone else that's better than them.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's brutal.
certainly. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just trying to make a legacy for themselves. It's
Mm,
like a lot of people are scared of dying
yeah.
because they're like, oh, I die and I'm not remembered, so they have this fear of trying to create this legacy, something to be remembered
Mm,
by for years and years. So I suppose that's what they're there for. What you've got to
mm.
remember is none of the people in F1, I would say in like any real sports, are not there to play it, they're there to win it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
They're
you have to
only
be
because
really.
everything works on them. That's it. Like you're part of the team, you have to commit. There's results that are expected of you, and you have to do that.
Yeah.
So if you can't do that, then they're going to be like, well, what are you even doing here?
Mm.
Um, I mean, if you really want to have more of an in-depth look into it, I would watch F1 Drive to Survive on
F1's
Netflix,
Right
and
to
you can have a
Survive.
look of
Wow.
how they are. Like,
I love a good documentary.
if you don't bring in those results, they'll just be like, well,
Yeah.
you're not bringing us money in, you're not bringing us wins in, so
Does it go into like the
you just go.
emotional lives behind the drivers then?
Oh
This
yeah, yeah. It
wow.
it shows you a lot of like the unseen
Behind
things.
the
So
scenes, yeah.
like the
Wow.
workers,
Mm.
mainly like the high ranked staff. But
I think my sister might have
yeah.
watched that because my sister's a massive F1 fan.
Well, I
Um,
mean, you should
yeah,
certainly check it out. I would
yeah,
say it's worth it, to be fair.
yeah. I feel like if I had a documentary about my life, it'd be the worst thing ever. Like, it'd be like, Judah is in his bed. And then it'd be like, I get out of bed. Now, what's Judah going to do today? And they'd be like, oh, he just gets a coffee. Then what does he do? No, he sits at home and does fuck all. Oh, right, this documentary's over. He's like, that's just it. Like, right now, my life is the most boring thing, like, most boring thing you'll ever get. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
Hopefully
well,
one day I'll get a
I
legacy
mean,
in. But I do feel like, I don't know, sorry to cut you off there, but I feel
uh,
like in life there's different type of people, right? Trying to do different things. Like you've got people out there that are trying to make a name for themselves, people out there, and then you've got the other side of people which are just work hard, play hard, and then you've got the other side. There's three types of people in my opinion. The other side that are just here for a good time, not a long time, if you heard that phrase, where you're just going to party, get drunk, do drugs, all that stuff, and then just die young and leave a good looking corpse. And to be fair, I mean, I'm still young, I'm still learning all about life, but I think I've lived in all three of those lives already. Being an 18-year-old, you know, I've had all sorts of things going on in my life. You know, might have touched on some of the stuff here and there on the podcast, but like, I find that, you know, all of us go through those phases. Like one day we'll get up and like, right, I want to make a revolution. I want to make a name for myself. Another day we'll be like, right, I want to work hard. Another day, you know, we'll be like, oh, I want to just party and just be a bit silly and let your hair down a bit. And the thing is, all I've learnt of life, I'm only 19 years old, but I've learnt that life isn't all about that. It isn't all about the legacy. Because when you get there, what's there? Nothing. Right. The times you spend with your family, your loved ones, that to me is what life's about. Because yes, we are only here for a short time, but like, you know, when you see all these people out there trying to make a name for themselves, it's like, you know, it's that fear of, oh, I'm not going to be remembered. But look, you're going to be remembered no matter who you are by the people that you love. And that's enough for me. Like, I can die happily knowing that I've going to be remembered by people I love, and they'll remember me, I'll remember them. You know, that's what I find life's about. It's very easy, I guess, in that sort of sector as a big
yeah.
YouTuber, a big celebrity, a big actor, to kind of lose the actual grip of life that most people need to know about. Like I went to therapy, I got a therapist, and it helped me a lot. It helped me see life through a different lens, and it really isn't about trying to make a name for yourself. It's about just recognizing that you've got a circle of people around you, no matter who you are, that care about you and love you.
Oh yeah,
And
certainly.
yeah, and
Um,
that's what's important. It really is. Like if you
yeah,
try
yeah.
and get all this money, try and get all this fame, blah 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 blah, you'll still be unhappy if you're looking for all that stuff. Because the truth is, it's about who people you spend time with, the people you care about that care about you. You know, like, yes, okay, let's just say I became a rich guy and got known by millions, right? That's still not going to bring me happiness. I'll be replaced by someone else. Then what? You know?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like it's difficult because it depends on the type of pressure that you're
Yeah.
under, of like what role you do. You know, obviously everyone has to perform to a certain degree. It's like any job, you know. I mean, anyone has to perform to the standard that they've gone into, well, the
Mm,
company expects from you. You know, what I mean, they're like, okay, well, you should be at this standard. You know, have this knowledge, you have this experience, you should be working this fast, doing this much, knowing,
mm,
you know, what I mean, you should have the answers, you should have the know-how and the ability to do it, and they expect, you know, when you pass through that training phase, for
yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I mean, for you to like obviously not just be there, but I think F1's heavily on that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They are obviously professional. Like seconds count in a race. You know,
yeah,
minutes, seconds, everything counts there. So
yeah,
for you to like hold up a car by a second could be the difference between a driver winning and that team, and then a whole
mm,
like
it's insane.
championship title going for
I
the
feel like,
driver and the
yeah,
team. So
it's big
it's
stuff, a
not
lot of
just like
responsibility.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
because
feel
it's
like,
not
yeah,
just yourself that you know you are,
mm,
let's say, like you know what I mean, because you are a team, everything you do impacts everyone, and that's
yeah,
something
yeah,
that you know what I mean, you have to you know you have to understand. I mean, it's obviously diverting from what we were talking about just now, but
mm. It's still the sort of it's a sector of
Oh,
life of hard workers.
yeah, yeah. I would
Yeah.
say that I'm thinking about joining the reserves. I have done for a while.
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
applied for
move
the
on to
army
that, I
reserve.
guess. You're thinking of applying for the Royal Marine Reserve. So I like that we're talking about this because like we have a lot of YouTubers on this podcast. We have we're all influencers here, but you're not one of them. You're one of those people. You mean? Oh, I think I'll talk to you about you. You're one of the you're a real British. You tried to join the army, didn't you? You got the
Yeah, yeah,
proper Marines flag behind you. But before we move on to that, I was going to say, if I ever tried to be an F1 driver, I think I'll just die within the first 5 seconds of being one. Like, I'll just crash into a bush and
oh,
just end my life right there.
yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of what you don't see is the intensity of driving, and I
yeah.
have s- I have sat in an F1 car. You do get
Mm.
the feel, and it's so weird
Ooh.
because you have such a limited
You didn't
view.
drive it, did you? You didn't take off with it. Like, bye,
Oh
psych.
no, 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 no! Like
Zoomed off.
the fact is like what you've got to remember is your head
Yeah.
is like kind of like the bits come up here. So you know what I mean? Like if you can imagine like having something about here, you
Yeah.
can't really see, your head's quite tucked down
Isn't
in
that
a
a death
seat.
trap? Because if that thing blows up or crashes, you're gone. You're strapped into this
Um,
car, right? I
yes
mean,
and
you
no.
have to be experienced, obviously. You have to play a lot
Yeah.
of Mario
Oh,
Kart and
oh,
like practice.
well, I mean, no,
I'll show you. Yeah.
it is kind of like that though. To be fair, like you
Mm,
do
mm.
do a lot of go karting, so most of it is go karting. I think F3 is kind of like go karting, a bit like F2.
Yeah, yeah.
F1's
Training.
like your proper, because a lot of them never actually
Mm,
get to sit in a vehicle unless you're classed as like a reserves driver. So the reserves drivers, they train
mm.
harder because they're there to replace it in case the driver gets injured, or if the driver decides to leave for another team, whatever the reason may be,
Bit like a
they can just
side
step up.
footballer in
Yeah, yeah,
football, I
yeah.
guess.
Like
Like on
they'll
the
step up,
side.
they'll come off the bench, but they're ready. They've got the experience, and sometimes
Mm,
they take on individuals that have never been in an actual F1 vehicle,
yeah.
and everything's new to them.
Mm,
They've never actually experienced that. They've never gone that fast. They've never been in such a competitive race before with extremely talented individuals that have known the tracks, have done the tracks for like 20 years. I mean, they've been on those tracks more times than probably those people have even been around, or even lived.
mm,
And they've
yeah.
got a lot of experience, what I mean? So they're coming up against people that know.
Yeah, they know what they're
They know what
doing.
they're doing, they know what they're
Know the
talking
game.
about, they know what they're about. Yeah. But
Well,
yeah, yeah.
so why? I was asking you, why are you? Let's touch on you a bit then. Why are you leaving? I guess. Well, I guess you're either thinking of going to an actual F1 company, like as in one of the car teams, or are you actually thinking of becoming a Royal Marine? Let's touch on a bit of that.
Well, I'm thinking that's the debate I'm in. I'm thinking that like if I leave,
Mm,
because I've been wanting to go into the reserves, I think that there's no point me going into the reserves
mm,
if I leave, because the whole
mm,
point is for you to be able to do both things that you enjoy going into the Marines. Like there is
mm,
workings, get the best of both worlds. You get to enjoy it
mm,
all. Where if I leave, then what's the point of getting another job to just go into the reserves when I can just go in full time? Um,
mm. What would
I
that look
mean,
like? Would you be going to training camp and just flipping training your ass off? Like, 'cause
oh yeah,
it looks like like if you see a marine, you know what they're like. They usually, if you think, for our audience listening, we've got worldwide audience. But if you think of Royal British Army Marine, like I'm thinking already skinhead, tattoos, doesn't take no shit, swears like a sailor. Smokes cigarettes. Well, actually, no, because I guess you can't smoke cigarettes if you're in the marine. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I feel like they're very tough, hardy men that they will just give you a bollocking if you annoy them. I guess, yeah, because they're
um,
Marines. They have to go through all this stuff. They have to fight on the sea. Like, if I was a Marine, I wouldn't last 5 seconds, bro. Like, I feel like I'd just get blown up. Like, I'd just be like, I'll
um,
be too busy. The thing is, I'm not really a hard trained guy. I probably like oversleep the alarm, and the guy's like, "Get up now!" And I'm just like, "I'm like, nah, 5 more minutes," and they just beat me up. I'm not disciplined.
I mean, you get the thing is obviously you get a taster of what it's like.
Mm,
Um, you get a feel for it, and then you get to a point where they allow you, they give you choices to drop out at any point if it's not for you. But what you've
Because
got to
how
remember
tough it
is the
is.
moment that you
Mm.
go beyond that stage, you swear the oath of allegiance to His Majesty the King, his
Mm.
heirs and successors, um, to defend him because it's His Majesty's armed forces.
Yeah.
Um, and with that, when you're many at that stage,
Mm.
you know what I mean. You can't go back because you also
Mm.
sign the Official Secrets Act. I think it's like
Wow.
1917, something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, you obviously
It's all
once
very
you're at that
official.
stage, you
It's
have
like
to
joining the
commit
mafia.
so many years. Yeah,
It's
so
like
you do
signing an
about 4 years.
allegiance.
Yeah, minimum
Wow.
4 years, and then obviously at the end
Yeah.
it like comes up is like any job because it is a job. You
It's
have
a
to wear a
job.
suit, you go for an interview. It is seen as a job. Obviously there's other aspects in there. I
Mm.
would say yes, the training's hard. Obviously, touching on the army, I tried joining the army to go into the parachute regiment, which is airborne infantry. I wanted to go into paras. I was going to be part of 4 battalion, which is the parachute regiment reserves
Wow.
battalion,
So
and
you're
I'd
gonna
be in
be
a
like
T
an air
company.
fighter. An air fighter, I guess.
Well, a
No.
parachutist, so I'd be jumping out of planes into
With
the
the
field.
oh
Yeah.
wow. So
So
literally
so
putting
in
your life on the line for a country. Wow.
oh yeah. So part of the global rapid response, which is what also the Royal Marines are part of. The only difference is that
Wow.
the Royal Marines obviously they do their insurgents or
Mm.
specialise it from sea to
Wow.
land, where airborne you do your insurgents from air onto
Yeah.
land. So it's just whatever way you want to mobilise, but everyone's they're equally as important.
Mm.
It's just your level of training.
And so why?
And
What I mean, I guess like this is quite good because I like it's rare to actually get someone on the pod because you're my close friend off camera as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like, it's rare to actually get like a person who wants to be a marine, someone who's like on that sector. Like, you do play your games, but you want to be basically in the army. Why? I guess. I mean, also two questions. I guess. First one, this is turning into like an interview for someone else to join the Marines. But like, first question is why, and the second question is, have you already undergone some sort of training before, or is it all going to be oblivious to you? Like, I guess you've already researched it, but have you undergone like a training camp to get a taste of it? But anyway, before we touch on that, before we move on to the news of the week, just want to quickly ask you why, because I'm intrigued. First question is why? Why do you want to literally give your life away for the UK? Why? Why do you want to join the army?
well, I mean, I just got bored. I suppose like it's something that I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do. For
Hmm.
starters, it's always something I wanted to do from about 7. It's like obviously
Wow.
the
It's a
youngest
little.
age that I can remember, but from there,
Mm,
I've always wanted to go in. There's just something about it
mm,
that intrigued me. But then, there's so many branches. I mean, there's 3 branches. There's the Navy, there's the Army, there's the Air Force. So you start thinking. You go, okay, which one do I want? What seems
mm,
there? You start picking. But I feel like for me, the reason I went to go into the army was because I liked the army. I
mm,
liked, being on land more than anything, as well as who gets to be paid to go all the way around the world and parachute anywhere. You know what I mean? Like you get
true.
paid to jump out of an aeroplane
Mm.
anywhere in the world,
But is
and
it
you don't have
like,
to spend any money.
but when you're doing that though, are you actually shooting people or are you just parachuting because you want to parachute? Like, what today I feel like
Well,
parachute.
well,
Or is
well,
it,
you
because I guess the
para.
army has so many jobs, like, I guess you'll be patrolling, I don't know what you'll be doing.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, like for example, there was a lot of units in
Mm.
Afghanistan,
Right, yeah,
just
yeah.
like other previous wars, and
Mm,
you don't necessarily parachute in unless there's like a proper need for it. It depends on
mm,
the situation you're in. But most of the time,
mm,
you just arrive on a plane like a standard, um, like any other regiment, standard infantry. You arrive on a plane. It depends
wow,
on like
right.
dire situation. So like if you're going to war and they need troops there now, you
Yeah.
parachute in because you can put 150 troops out of one plane on the ground like
And they
that.
are they doing that right now? I guess. So, okay, again, like we don't get too political on the podcast. We can
Oh
touch on, I
yeah,
guess, the surface. But like, I'm guessing that there are wars going on now, obviously, which the UK are involved in. So that I guess, like you would be put in lines like that. But you don't really hear about anything big enough, I guess, on the news. That's like, the UK troops are getting killed. So I feel like everything's okay. But my thing, I guess, because of the army, right? There's like British bases situated all over the world. I'm guessing, just like there's American bases down in Hiroshima, or not Hiroshima. I think what's it called? Okinawa in Japan. They've got the big
mm.
American bases. Basically, I'm just guessing there's like British bases all over the place, and I'm guessing like there's also border control where the army would be in different parts of the country. I don't know, different parts of not the country, probably the world. I mean, I know like because we're not like I don't know, not like for instance like North and South Korea. They've got that big border, and then you've got the two like soldiers like just watching each other with guns all the time. We don't have that here in the UK, but I guess do we have some sort of border control in other countries that we're involved with? That you'll be involved with going out and patrolling, or is that just not it? That's
Um,
just
it depends. I mean, the
mm.
Falklands is the biggest one, obviously, like with
Oh
the
yeah,
Falklands
Falklands.
War.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you have like Royal Marines always stationed there, and
Wow.
they protect the Crown colonies, the overseas territories of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So their main job
Yeah.
is to, because what you've got to remember is there are other countries that rely on us for military aid. So, for example, they could be born in I'm trying to think now. Like for example, like
Yeah.
Gibraltar or places like or like the Falklands.
Mm.
They don't actually have a military, so they may have like their own government, but
Mm.
they require our military assistance. So anyone born in those
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
borders classes a British citizen, and
Mm.
we defend them. It's like the Isle of Man, the Isle of Wight. They're
Wow.
not
Yeah.
actually English or in that sense British. Their passports are slightly different, but
Mm.
they are a citizen of the United Kingdom, and
Also, yeah.
um, you
I
know
guess.
you
Yeah.
your job's to obviously to defend. Well, you say defend them, but it's not
Just
like I
work
think
with them, I guess.
a lot of people don't realise is that you're not like the police. You don't do it for the country, if that makes
Mm.
sense. You do it for His Majesty the King. It's a royal
No.
family to protect because you are their personal bodyguard. You know what I mean? Like
Obviously, yeah.
you are
Big.
um you swear an allegiance to them, the
Mm.
family,
Mm.
and nothing else. Because it's like let's say even if someone took over your country or like this country, as long as the king's alive, you know what I mean, the country's never like fallen.
Wow.
That's how it is. So you could raise down the flag,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
the king is still the symbol of this country. So,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
long as he lives, he's defended, then this
Wow.
country still stands no matter what anyone else says. So your job is
Yeah.
obviously still to protect the country and the people, but
Mm.
it's not what you actually swear to do, but you still do it. I mean,
Exactly.
obviously, you asked like what drives someone or
Mm.
someone like myself to put themselves on the line. Um, I mean, you don't really think about it, I suppose.
It's a calling inside of you, I guess, that you want to be.
Yeah, like I just thought,
Yeah.
what's the chances that you do this? This isn't an ordinary job, but you also get
Mm.
to know a lot about yourself as an individual. You get to understand like
Mm.
how far you can go, how
How far
you
you
can
can push
push yourself
yourself.
as an individual, like what you are physically and mentally capable of doing,
Mm.
and you will never know until you're actually there. And that's one
Mm.
thing that the army will do. It pushes you mentally and physically to
Big
that
time.
point, and you
Big
know
time.
what you're
Mm.
actually capable of, and
Mm.
as well as you get to see other people at
Mm.
different stages in different places, and you I think you also grasp that sense of like if someone was I'd say chatting rubbish, for example, chatting shit,
Mm.
you would know that because you're like, I've been there, I've seen like really really hard, mentally robust and
Oh
physically
yeah,
robust
yeah.
individuals, and it gives you this different mindset. It's like when you get a job,
Mm.
you start becoming more adultish. You start getting a different mindset. You understand these things. You take on a lot of things as you start
Obviously, yeah.
growing up, and that's something that you get when you
Mm.
join the army. It's
Yeah.
that push. For me, it was meeting up with like-minded individuals,
Yeah.
doing something that I myself and others seem to see as fun.
Wow.
Um, but then also have that. you know what I mean, that respect, that pride, saying this is my country. If anyone tries to harm those people
Mm.
or my country, I'm willing to stand there and say no. And you know what I mean, stand up and be that wall, be that defense against it. Because you know what I mean, it's not for everyone. Not
Mm.
everyone sees
Yeah, not
being out
everyone
in the
can
mud
be.
and the
Yeah.
rain and the cold, the heat, is
Mm.
is fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see it as fun. And obviously, I may go in and I may not even like it. I may not even pass selection, but you know,
It's worth a
going
try.
in,
It's worth a shot.
that's yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm.
That's how I feel so far and how I look at it. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I would say, you know, you have your ups and downs like any time in life or in any job. But yeah, to go in to do that,
Mm.
and you know, it's not for everyone. Some people also they fear that as well,
Mm.
and I would say I don't. You know, my
Wow.
thing is like I love my country, and
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's the pride you
obviously, you
have.
know, with that,
Yeah.
it's like if someone wants to come over and take my country, take my pride, take my heritage, take everything that makes me who I am and British,
Mm.
I'm
Wow.
willing to stand there and say no. I'm not going to back down from it. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to fight for my rights, my beliefs, and you do
Yeah.
that, but you do it for other people as well. That's what
That's
you do.
what. Yeah. I
You
mean,
know.
have you big stuff that is. I mean, have you ever undergone? I mean, my last question is here in the army. Have you ever undergone any training or any boot camp training as of yet, like a taster? Yet or
Uh,
not?
no, I mean,
No.
I have downloaded the Army Fitness app.
Well,
Obviously, the Army's very
what is it
different to the
like?
Royal Marines.
200 push-ups a day now. Is it like that? Was it?
No, no. So you can
Yeah.
download the app. It's
Yeah.
called like getting Army Fit, and what it does is
Wow.
it tracks your progress
Yeah.
um amongst everything.
Wow.
So what you know what I mean? Like you'll be able to keep track of how many push-ups you're able to do, how many
Mm.
sit-ups, the runs, the warm-ups. It gives you like how you do these exercises. So for example, doing the push-ups,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know they bleep. So you go down, you have to hold them until you hear a beep. You come
Yeah.
up, you beep, you go down. So it gets you used to how they would train you in person. So you
It's
do a
like a little
BST,
thing.
I
That's
believe it
quite
is
good.
British Standard um,
Yeah.
training,
Oh yeah.
which is
Wow.
what the Royal Marines do.
Mm.
Is well anyone does that. But yeah,
Mm.
you basically go in, you apply, you do your interview, do your medicals. You go
Mm.
in, you do your basic, then you go off to your special to arms training, which is obviously
Mm.
the regiment that you want to go join,
Wow.
regardless if it's a squadron, if it's the RAF, or I don't really know much about the Navy that much, so you know
Oh,
what
you
I mean.
know a
But I
lot.
mean,
That's what I say. Like, it's good, I guess. But like having like, because I guess like we've not even seen from the previous episode this side to you. Like, people are now seeing like what you actually like to do, what you're knowledgeable about, which is the army and stuff. So I guess for the first time in a long, we've never done this before in the gaming podcast. We've touched on someone who wants to be an aspiring British Army officer. And again, thanks Matt for sharing. I guess if you anyone out there wants to join the army and you live in the UK, join. You might see Matt on the front lines.
yeah,
I guess one little thing
exactly.
I want to swing about though, more of a casual thing without getting too political, is like I don't know. Do you think World War Three is inevitable, or do you think it's stoppable? I don't know because I see like I watch the news. I don't. That's a lie. I don't watch the news. I don't want to watch the news. If I put the news on, it's just like the world is going to shit, and it's just yeah. I'm like nah. It's too much. And then I see there's disastrous things happening. Won't touch on them because of political reasons. But like well, it's all obvious. One thing I can touch on, I guess, is one of the biggest things we didn't see coming was Russia invading Ukraine, and that was really bad. For instance, I don't think we realised Putin actually had it in to be so sick and evil. But like on the other hand, like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we're actually heading towards World War Three. Do you think we are? And do you think if World War Three happens, me and you will be forced to go into the army?
I would say so, just because of the national recruitment
Mm.
crisis that's going on. I would
Mm.
say that you know World War Three. I don't think you're going to stop it. There's
If it happens, it happens. Basically.
I yeah I feel like right
Mm.
now the world's trying to keep a lid on it. I don't think it'd turn nuclear because if it was going to
Mm.
turn nuclear, there's no point of all of this new equipment testing, moving. it'd be pointless. The whole
Yeah, it's
world,
kind of weird how not like
everyone would fire at everyone. So
yeah.
truthfully, nuclear weapons is just out of the question.
Mm,
You know, because like if you realistically, if you took Ukraine and Russia for example, they're not
mm,
using nuclear weapons. You know,
yeah,
it is very much like it was in World War One and Two, very much
just
trench
bombs.
warfare, guerrilla warfare. It's very much up like that.
Mm,
Um, I would say I would say certainly that you know you could try, but all it does is cause more issues because you could assassinate Putin, you could assassinate other leaders that are involved in certain things,
mm.
but all that does is it fuels people's motive more. It
I
gives them a
guess
reason to do more stuff, so it's
yeah.
inevitable. You know, it's gonna happen.
I guess the
Um,
nuclear. Yeah, I mean, I guess the
yeah,
nuclear weapons button. The moment someone presses that, it is over. Like World War III does happen. It's inevitable. That's why even like the most sick leaders out there, like Putin, like they won't push the button because they know the moment they push that button, they're gonna get destroyed, and the whole world's gonna get involved, and the world will be pretty much on an apocalyptic level. Like if nuclear weapons got involved, I'm pretty sure everything would go tits up. Like the radiation will. I mean, if you think about it, which is I like to point this out. I'm not too knowledgeable about World War II and stuff, but I have looked into it and stuff. My granddad's fought in World War II. Like I guess we've never used a nuclear bomb. We've never actually used a nuclear bomb. We've only used an atom bomb. That was in Japan. Well, we didn't. America dropped an atom bomb on Japan. 2 atom bombs in Japan, which are still affecting Japan to this day with radiation issues. So I'm guessing that if you used a nuclear bomb, it would be on a much larger and worse scale.
so like I was saying, there was nothing. You know, if you use a nuclear bomb, you obviously it's the radiation. So, you know,
Mm,
like you've said, we've never used a nuclear bomb. It's only atom bombs that we have used. Atom bombs don't really have that much radiation. The radiation goes. Where
mm.
when you deal with nuclear bombs, it's like the was it
Catastrophic.
Novichok, isn't it? No,
Yeah.
what's it? Sol?
Chernobyl?
No.
No.
Trying to think about what attack was it that we had? No,
Yeah.
not here. Russia.
Mm.
Trying to think that meltdown, that nuclear reactor that melted down in.
Oh, that isn't that Chernobyl?
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
name there, but
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. So the reason that that's not inhabited is because of the radiation. So
Mm,
that's like a nuclear reactor going. So that's like the same nuclear kind of structure that
mm.
you'd have in a nuclear bomb. But I mean,
Exactly. So, what I'm saying is, if we use a nuke, because the thing is, you do realise Japan has still struggling with the radiation levels in Hiroshima. They're still struggling. There's parts of Japan that are uninhabitable just because of the radiation levels still from the new atom bombs. So yeah, it isn't
oh
as
yeah,
bad, but like the fact it's still causing an issue today proves that the atom bombs that was dropped were catastrophic. They ended the entire World War II, really, didn't they? And they were brutal. They were horrible. They killed thousands of innocent civilians, and but really, if so, we know if a nuclear bomb was dropped on a country, then it would be catastrophic for the next 100, 200, 300, 500 years or 1,000 years. And it goes without saying, if a hydrogen bomb is used, then I'm just probably going to move to Mars, because that would be a
good luck with
disaster.
that, mate. You're gonna need a lot of money. But I mean, Mars
Is it,
still
why
isn't
are we
even a
making
thing.
all these stupid bombs that are never going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, that never happens. These bombs that literally have the possibility to end the entire universe, and we've got them under our bed like a pet dog. Like, it's just so, like, just get rid of them, right? Stop making all these big weapons, because one day someone, like, that's, like, messed up in the head is going to press the button, and the world is going to go to shit.
I
Literally.
mean, the thing is it's just a scare tactic. It's like
Yeah.
Putin. Putin, whenever there is
Mm.
a situation where Putin would like other
Mm.
countries to stay out or not get involved, he'll turn around and he'll just be like, "Oh, if you do, I'll arm my nukes." You know what I mean? All it is
Mm.
just a scare tactic. But the moment you stand up to that and you just show that you're not affected by that tactic, is the moment
Mm.
that he doesn't have anything because
Mm.
realistically he doesn't have the balls to press the button.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, that's the thing.
Because
It
if he
takes.
did, you'd do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but when it's only a matter of time until someone has the balls to press that. It's just like threatening someone with a gun. holding a gun up to someone, being like, "Look, I'm going to shoot you right now with this gun," but you have no intent of shooting them. You just want to scare them, right? And you know how that works. You know, not everyone's going to shoot you, but like if you get someone deranged in the head who does not care and has nothing to lose, they will shoot you. And it's like we're not playing with guns here. We're playing with literally world-destroying fucking disasters. And the moment someone presses the button that's got the balls to press the button, then I'm going to move to Mars. But yeah,
that is if we can even get to Mars.
Well, I don't think we are. I think I'll just die. I won't even. I think the moment people start using them, we'll all just evaporate, and then the world will take a new era. But to be fair, moving on from that, it's been a good discussion about wars and armies. There has been a quality change, hasn't there, Matt? There's been what the listeners probably they've noticed, obviously, because you've changed. You've got better voice quality, and for video listeners, Matt is now horizontal. Is it horizontal? You're horizontal now. Matt, what happened? Why are you horizontal for? But anyway, yeah, this man did charge his laptop. What a lunatic. And the laptop...
It's just Judah decided to destroy it.
Did I really?
With his long conversations, as you all know.
That was good. That was educational. We've never had such education spewing out of the mouths of us.
of a delinquent, you know what I mean?
Oh, shut up. Leicester scum.
What it is, London scum, is no.
Okay,
anyway. What it is it's an old laptop, so you know the battery just isn't as good as it used to be. So it will drop. But I have multiple things running as well when I'm on there.
I mean, going from a literal laptop with the screen hanging off, used to stream on it, to a beast PC. I mean, my internet is now the issue. We're just fixing the internet at the moment. But like that aside, going from a laptop that's the screen is hanging off to a beast PC it's so weird, man. Because this thing is like for coding. This PC is not even for what I'm doing. Like it's super good. It's just like if only I had the internet to go with it. Internet here is retarded. I don't know what it is.
If you brought it over to mine, you'd cream. I'm sorry to say, but it's true. You would
cream.
You would.
It can't be that good. I mean, actually, I might. If the internet speed is like 200 megabytes, I would cream. Yeah, I would. I'd literally spunk my pants. I'd be like, oh, this is quality I need. But anyway, Matt. Last thing before we go on to actually gaming news. Sorry, everyone, for a bit of a tangent there, but I hope it was educational to anyone out there. I've got new glasses. Talking of the new look, I've got new glasses. I mean, you're on your phone now. Besides, that was better quality. But that aside, no one cares about your phone. Man's got new glasses. How do they look? Come on, let's be honest. Don't call me Harry Potter. I already had that from someone, and I literally almost punched them in the face. How do I look?
You look good. To be fair, I did say at the moment.
Right choice.
Didn't I? I said you looked good. They do suit you a lot. I think they suit you a lot better than your old glasses, in my opinion.
100%.
You've gone from like what I originally said, that year 8, year 9 looking.
I didn't like my
glasses. Person to a more mature, older. Look your age. You know what I mean? You look your age. I was saying that at one point you look like a K-pop or K-star, you know what I mean, kind of actor.
Oh, you had to ruin it, didn't you?
You know what I mean? Like, with those goofy ass glasses and that
come on.
ass. No, I love it. I love it really. No, I
cheers.
Do. You look good.
Man just told me I changed races. How can the glasses make me look Korean, man? Like, what, sarang hair? What they say, like in the Korean, sarang hair means I love you, doesn't it? Like, ooh, sarang hair.
Thank you.
No, I
I
do not look like a Korean pops. I don't look like BTS or Super Junior or any of them. Like, I don't think I do. Like, do you see K-pop stars wearing glasses? No. I mean, I don't. They just...
Well, I wouldn't say K-pop. Well, to be fair...
It's the hair, isn't it? It's the floppy hair.
Actually, they do. They just don't wear it when they sing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but
I think like BTS has a few, don't they?
Maybe. Oh yeah, actually. Yeah, my next K-pop concert, the Daft British Boys, that they're on stage now. So get your tickets now, and I'll be singing in Korean on the stage. K-pop. To all the K-pop fans.
All you hear is
shut up. No. Here's the thing, right? K-pop, on the topic of K-pop, though, it's weird. Like, I'm not into like. I'm not one of them what they call armies or whatever they call it. I'm not like one of them fangirls. Like the girl I'm dating right now, she's like a massive massive fan of K-pop. Like, she is like big into K-pop. Like, she goes to all the concerts of Super Junior and TTX, whatever it's called, TXT, and she has like the glowing, like, she has a collection of all the glowing microphones, and she's like bum ba dum ba dum. She goes on to the concert with their friends, and they're like, you know, hashtag K-pop night, all that. So I've kind of been exposed to the world of K-pop through my girlfriend. But here's the thing with me, I've always been a lover of all music types. My playlist on Spotify, my personal playlist, is so mixed, it's insane. Like, I've got, you know, rock, British, 80s, and then there are Korean music in there. Like, I listen to some Korean music. I listen to J-pop as well, Japanese pop, Japanese rock, J-rock. J-rock's a huge scene. I quite like a bit of J-rock. And yeah, I'll be honest, there are some K-pop songs I like, but they're not like your normal BTS style songs. They're like bands that aren't as well known. There's like I'll pick and choose certain songs like from a Korean band, that like K-pop band that like I like. For instance, I don't know, there's like a few songs from Super Junior. Like, they're quite an old band. I don't think they're active anymore. I think they've done reunions, but they're like. But yeah, I mean, I like all music. I don't hate on it.
Yeah.
I mean, here in the UK, if you grew up here in the UK and you say you like K-pop and you're a boy, you'll get bullied the absolute shit out of you. Like, it's just not much of a thing here, is it? I think you would know, Matt. If you go to high school, secondary school here, and you're like, I like K-pop, and you're not a girl, you're one of the, you'll get bullied. So I don't know why. It's kind of rude.
To deal with Judah's like stream, you know what I mean? You have to look at this this McLovin guy, you know what I mean?
Shut up.
And yeah, no, to be fair though,
Yeah.
in all honesty, you are. But I mean, I feel like that's just like the immaturity side of kids.
In the
that
UK,
I feel like,
yeah.
Obviously, you will meet those individuals that still haven't grown out of that immaturity, and still kind of have that thought process. But I mean, truthfully, it doesn't bother me as an individual. It never has done, just because it is what it is. You know, I mean, you're into whatever you're into, and you like whatever you like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, you can't like base your opinions off of like other people. You know what I mean? It's your life. You know what I mean? You're into what you're into, so can't really infringe that onto other people. So
exactly. I mean, I'm growing up in the UK, going to secondary school in the UK, growing up in the UK. I was listening to some podcasts recently called Trash Taste, and then like they're an anime podcast, and they're all like grown men that live in Japan, and they were saying on the podcast, you know, they're huge anime fans, obviously, but they're like, you know, oh, it's like these back in our day, if you liked anime, you would get bullied for it, but now it's like the cool thing. But like, all respect to them, like, I love Trash Taste, by the way, I'm not hating on them, but like, you still get bullied if you like anime in the UK. It's not accepted, I'm being honest. Like, it is, and everyone who likes anime, it is not accepted. Like, so I don't know why. And now this is like a taboo. I can speak as a British guy here. It's a taboo of our culture. We're very like, we kind of, it depends where you live, I think, in the UK, but if you go to like a normal school, like just normal secondary school, right, whatever, there is quite the bullying scene here is quite bad, and like, you've got to kind of, either into your football's really big here in the UK, for instance, we call it football, Americans call it soccer, whatever, you know, that's like the kind of thing everyone is into. Like, it's, if you have some sort of nerdy hobby, it could be anime, it could be Nintendo, like I'm into, like, if you have some sort of hobby that is anime, like, and you like bring that out and you're going to school, I think there is still a huge issue of people not accepting that and bullying you for it. It's still very much a big thing. Like, there was kids in my school that hid their anime, like their anime obsession, whatever it is. I'm gonna call it obsession. Right? I'm not rude. Like, I'm accepting of anyone. But like, I feel like back, you know, I think you would know. Like, just coming out, you know, I'm 19 now. Been to college, been to school, everything. You know, it's still not accepted really. I mean, college, yeah, you kind of are a bit more free because people in college are a bit more nice. There's not really bullying in college, and from my experience, college is a little more nicer. But like in school, we're still not past that phase of immaturity. Like, you cannot be. Like, it's hard to explain. I mean, you would get it because you went to school here in the UK, you know it. There's like there's this very, no one wants to be there. School, everyone hates it in British schools. And so if you like K-pop or something that's a bit, you know, anime or otherworldly to our British culture, which is oi, get a beard, have a bash, which is British culture, I hate to say. I love a good bit of British culture. I'm British, but like, we do have still a very immature society here. So if you like K-pop or something otherworldly that isn't in our culture, you will probably get bullied for it. And I think a lot of
Yeah, well,
people, yeah,
I just feel like it's people, I think, that are mainly threatened by difference. So
yeah, it's
they like
different.
tend to act out on it. So, for example, like even when you are at college,
Yeah, yeah,
you will still have that. Like if you're into it, you mean you're called like a goth or an emo, whatever. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
mm,
you are heavily criticised on your preferences, which I think like affects people because people,
they hide what they love.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what causes an issue, and they're afraid to like show that to people.
it's an issue.
But
Yeah,
I think no one really likes going to school. Really, no.
no,
It's that fact that you know what I mean. Like you're practically restricted. You've got no real
yeah.
freedom. It's like five
Schools here are
days,
shit. They are.
um, a week, and you're like, oh god, this, oh god, that. But
Mm, mm.
when you obviously, come out of it and you go into the working world, you actually go, do you know what? Yeah, school actually wasn't that bad. The only thing I wish is I had the
Mm,
money that I have now when I was at
yeah.
school. Like
I think,
that's just the only thing.
yeah. I think with the UK, we're a very interesting country. Like, we have a society that is, like, interesting. That's all I can say. But going to school in the UK, you just pointed out, there's definitely, like, a way that everyone wants to be. And it's kind of forced. It's like, it's peer pressure, basically. It's peer pressure. Like, so if you like something from another culture that is the majority of British children looked down upon, you'll get bullied for it. Like in my school, if you even said a word about anime, you would be called, what's it, like a hentai watch or something. You would get like shitted on pretty much. They'd be like, oh, you're a weeaboo, you're into all that Japanese rubbish, and then you get bullied for it. You would literally get so bullied for it. I mean, in my school, like I actually struggled with bullying a lot when I was young. I didn't really have much of a problem because as you get older in school, everyone's different. I do know it's a huge issue for some people out there who have literally dropped out of school because bullying's so bad, and my heart goes out to you. And if that's the case, get the help you need. Talk to someone about it. But when I was in school, I learned the way of how to deal with people and hide things, and I did hide quite a lot of what I'm interested in. Like, I remember when I was in secondary school, if I talked about Nintendo, because the majority of my mates and just classmates were into PlayStation and Xbox, they'd be like, "Bro, Nintendo bollocks!" You like Nintendo, but I was just, I'll be honest, I just come back and I was like, wait, I'll be logical. I didn't let
Oh
them
yeah,
bully
well
me for it. I was like, look,
I
why
feel
are
like
you
it was
shitting on Nintendo?
also
I'd be like,
that
look, why?
PlayStation thing as well, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Because a lot of people more like
yeah,
PlayStation, Xbox than PC. So a lot of it's that. So if you said like,
yeah.
oh, I was PC or I was Nintendo, you were very much excluded by PlayStation and Xbox users. You know what I
You would
mean? A
find
lot
your
of
own
them
circle
were.
of friends that are into that
Yeah.
if you had them. I mean, that's what people do. But like, I was just very logical in school. I didn't let them shit on it. Like, I just said, like, why? Like, come on, okay, why are you shitting on me for liking Nintendo? Why? But oh, Nintendo so laggy. I'm like, it's not laggy. It literally isn't. Like, have you played the 3DS? They're like, no, shut up. I'm like, no, don't tell me to shut up, mate. If you played the 3DS, there's no lag in any single game. Actually, like, you'll find it's a niche. You got Pokemon and stuff that people didn't actually play it. Like, look, you like FIFA. I do not like FIFA. Right? There's a
Yeah.
difference. I actually came back and argued. I was like, look, what? You're just shitting on it for no reason. You've never played a Nintendo console in your life. You're just sitting at home, drinking your orange juice, coming home and playing FIFA, and you just don't like any other console. That's just you're the one who's dumb. And they were like, oh. And I was like, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. Through school, I just kind of had a no-nonsense attitude as I got older to bullies. And I was like, if you're going to bully me, you got to have a good reason. And I just gave them a reason. And they're like, okay, fair enough. And they stopped. But again, like, that aside, everyone's different. So some people actually do struggle with bullying. And like as I said before, if you are getting bullied at school, just talk to someone about it. Don't let it get to you too much because it is bad. I just think it is because, like, I mean, I've got a lot of friends from different countries, and like I see into their school lives. Like, I guess I've got a lot of Japanese friends and people from Thailand and China and stuff. They're completely different culture. So over there, it's very hard working. Everyone's got to get a good grade. Bullying is a thing there, but it's not as I think banned as the UK. Like the UK's bullying rate is one of the worst in the world, and that is
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I
true.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it depends. To be fair.
I think every school has bullying in every country. But
Oh
like
yeah.
again, the culture is I think in every culture you get different levels of bullying. But anyway, we are talking a lot, so let's go on with the gaming news, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the talk about. By the way, we just talked about a lot and covered a lot. But anyway, Matt, it's time for Nintendo news of the week. So let me get the plan up on my phone, which is disappeared. Here it is. Right. Okay, Matt. So news of the week. This week, Rowan, bless him, was ill, so I chose all 3 news stories. So let's start off with our first news story of the week. Finally, here we are. Story number 1. New Luigi's 3D... no, I don't know why I put 3D. There literally is not a word in the script saying 3D. My brain. Nintendo has decided to unleash a new trailer for their upcoming Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. It's called 2 HD for the Nintendo Switch. The game is scheduled to arrive on the Nintendo's current platform on the 27th of June. Check out Luigi and Professor Egad, what a chad, trying to stop the paranormal menace from running amok in the video down below. I mean, the video down below isn't here, but like basically, new Luigi's Mansion trailer is out. It's called Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I mean, for all the Luigi's Mansion fans out there, this is big news because this is like, I don't know about you, but I've not actually. I think it was a Nintendo Direct, but I've not actually heard of this. I mean, the new Luigi's Mansion 2 like is coming out. What do you think? It's called Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I think they're kind of being weird in the name there. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know if it's called Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, but if it's called just 2 HD on the end, that's kind of like, not to criticise it straight away, but what would you call it 2 HD?
I don't actually know. I suppose it just depends on, like, obviously because it's something new. I feel like you'd have to play or see more to understand why.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure myself.
Because you've not played it before, have you?
No.
Any of the series, yeah.
I feel like what they're trying to do though is that obviously they're trying to bring out obviously the same things, but just a slight bit of a spin-off of it or something like that. So to try and change the name just to
so it's not
differentiate it.
Yeah, to make it better than the originals. Yeah. Like, there's been, as far as I know, I think there's 2 other games in the series. I think. Now, here's the thing. I mean, I'm like you, Matt. I've got Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS. It's called Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. That's the 3DS game. I believe there's another one then released for the Switch. And then this is, I think, another one. There's a couple of them, I think.
Because they did that haunted one with Luigi, didn't they? That
is it. You're correct. Luigi's Mansion is where he like. So basically, in Luigi's Mansion, you're like you're going into the haunted mansion and you're like fighting ghosts, and it's quite fun. It's like 3D and like you're like going. It's a 3D game. It's like, I guess it's kind of playful horror. Action, but it's not really horror. Like I don't get scared playing Luigi's Mansion. I'm like, whoa, ghost. I don't. It's not really scary. It's just fun. I mean, someone who grew up with Mario, that's just fun. Luigi's Mansion. So for the Luigi's Mansions fans out there, check out the new trailer just dropped. My opinion, I think I can probably talk on this more than Matt, because this is the only story here that Matt, hasn't got too much knowledge on. But I think it's good. I think that we're still putting games out on the Switch right now because. I don't know if let me educate you here, Matt. I think we already talked about this in the last episode. The new Nintendo Switch console, we don't know what it is, but it's coming out next year. So the new successor to all of it's the next successor. I was getting scared that they're going to completely like shut off the Switch and dump it like they did with the 3DS. Hopefully they don't, because the Switch is such a global success. I don't think they'll do that yet. But I'm just happy they're still putting games out on the Switch. I mean, they've just released a ton of new games which came out on the last Direct, like Luminous Ocean and a bunch of other games. We've got the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC which came out not too long ago, and then we've also got I believe Pokemon A to Z, but that's coming out on the successor. That's not coming out on this Switch. Pokemon A to Z is the next Legends game, but that's coming out on the new Switch, which is all mysterious. We don't know anything about it apart from the rumours. But yeah, I think I don't know if you would agree, but I think it's good that they've not completely abandoned the current Switch. Nintendo Switch. They're still making games for the Switch right before the year that the new successor comes out.
Yeah, well, I mean, are you not able to talk to your contacts or your contacting? That, you know what I mean? Like,
the one contact that works within Nintendo.
Let's get a bit of like a hint. Nothing like serious, but like enough to like kind of build up a picture to to like
No.
describe?
Here's the thing: they don't work for Nintendo anymore, but they used to.
Okay, yeah.
So if
But
they've
could
told
speak
me
to a person. It could be
things.
a man that knows a man that
Yeah.
knows a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could. Well, the thing is that the good thing about having that contact there is I've actually been told a lot of things in confidential, because they were like, they were like, oh, they're a friend of one of my close friends, and I'm like, look, well, you run a podcast about Nintendo in can't flipping speak, confidentiality. They basically said in between these four walls, blah de blah de blah de blah, and I was like, okay. And then I think I shared one of the rumours that I can share. Otherwise, I could, now this, a lot of people might not believe me, but I'm just speaking facts here. But if I do say some stuff I've been told, I could genuinely get Nintendo on my back. I do not want that. But I've been told intel that it's like, oh, I guess it's interesting.
But
it's not groundbreaking news, but it's interesting stuff that no one else knows.
You couldn't, but your friends would, though. Because obviously they used to be former employees of
Nintendo, which is very
so
hard
obviously
to get.
with them having those ties, they'd have to sign like NDAs and stuff. So they're the ones that would be in breach of that.
Exactly,
you. I mean,
and that's why I can't say their name.
Yeah,
because they've already breached their contract.
You obviously have like no tie to it and stuff, so they can't.
Because I could right now. I mean, this sounds weird, but right now I could make the headlines tomorrow. I could come out with some stuff that I've been told in confidentiality, and then this would blow up. Right, the person that told me would get sued. I would get sued, and it'll be a shit show. Yes, I'll be on the headlines, but it won't be for the good reasons. So, I say that in all serious. I say this in all serious. No, because that's the thing. We'll literally lose all of our work. So it's not worth it. But all I'm saying, it is interesting to know certain things, and that rumor I told you right there is okay to spread. Like it's not like unknown. Like it's something that can be said. I'll say that now, but I'm joking. It's fine. I can say it. But yeah, I guess I mean, I couldn't ask them anymore because they don't know the current intel of what goes on. But the Switch, as I said before, the Switch was made backwards, which is a rumor that is. Yeah, Switch the OLED was made first, but it was released last, and it does make sense because the OLED is the best version of the Switch. But anyway, yeah, nothing much to say on this news story apart from new Luigi's Mansion game coming out. Fun. Mm-hmm. Play it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Story number 2. Now, we're getting on to more hotter topics now. I'm pretty sure you know what Legend of Zelda is, don't you? The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So, Nintendo have bought their own movie studio. They've made the Super Mario movie, which came out last year. Or was it 2 years ago now? Which came out on the cinemas.
I think it might be 2 years ago, to be fair.
Yeah, 2 years ago, the Super Mario movie came out. The next big lineup is the Legend of Zelda movie, which I think is another massive hit because there's so many fans of Legend of Zelda. Not as much as Mario, but still a lot. And it's been confirmed, the rumours are confirmed, that the Legend of Zelda movie is in the works with big actors, possibly Tom Holland, I don't know. Yeah, so it's going to be a big movie in cinemas at some point in the future. But anyway, we're basically going to touch on that topic again because another rumour has come out. So, Legend of Zelda movie director says he'll go to the ends of the earth to ensure the film is good. Bloody hell. You may recall that last fall, Nintendo had officially announced there was a Zelda live action movie in the works. Since then, the film's director, Wes Ball, bro, that's a name and a half. Wes Ball has been participating in the interviews every now and then. The latest example of this comes from the direct, who recently did an exclusive interview with him. In the interview, they discussed the film, and then they said this. Ball said, I think it's going to be great. Fans are going to be happy. Legend of Zelda, to me, is one of the most important things ever in my life. Next to Star Wars. I've played Legend of Zelda throughout my childhood into my adulthood. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. I do get what you mean. I'm a fellow fan. I will go to the ends of the earth to make sure that this movie we'll hope will be what we'll hope it to be. Now, here's the thing. I'm very optimistic now because I think it's very easy to have a film director that just can't be asked. You could be like, all right, I'll take care of this film. But what I love here is that this director, Mr. Wes Ball, who's been appointed to direct the Legend of Zelda movie, which is going to be a massive hit, he's so optimistic, it's insane. He's like, I'm gonna make this movie to the ends of the earth. That's extreme. Like, he really is passionate about this movie he's making, and I think that's a gem right there. Because if you're so passionate, he's got that. They've chosen the right director, basically, because he has a place in his heart for Legend of Zelda. He said he's grown up with playing Legend of Zelda, and now he's been given this golden opportunity by Nintendo themselves to make a groundbreaking movie, and I just think it's very, very promising. I think is the right word, that he's saying this in an interview, like, I'm going to make this the best movie possible, and that's what we want to hear, don't we? Because we want to see a movie that's going to blow our minds.
Well, yeah,
Thoughts?
like I feel like obviously you want a movie that's very close to the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would say a bit like, how you've got the Enchanted movie. Similar to that, but I feel like they, you know what I mean, they could have done that better. So I feel like with Nintendo and with this Legend of Zelda, they want to make it very, very close to it, make it as accurate as possible in a movie form, which is what anyone wants. Because if you play the game, you want to relate to that. You want
the storyline of the game.
What's in the game and the similarities to that in real life. You want to see that, and I feel like if an individual's going to do that, they've got to have that right mindset to go, okay, well, we've got to do it, but we've got to do it right. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of pressure, isn't it? Because when you make a movie on a game, I think the pressure is insane, because a game is not a movie. I think with Mario movie, they had a lot more pressure, because the Super Mario has that one simple storyline that everyone knows. Bowser captures Peach, Mario goes and saves her. They can't just make that. They've got to make it bigger and better, and in the Mario movie, it was for kids, so they couldn't do too much, but I think they did pretty well for what they did. I think we've done an episode on it talking about it, guys, so we're going to go and check that out, because I'm not going to talk about it over again, but it was mid in my opinion. Again, I think you can say it's about, if you're a critic about a movie, there's always things in a movie that could be done better. But you also have got to look at the positives of the movie and be like, right, but they did do well on this. And I'm just optimistic about this, because Legend of Zelda has possibly one of the most powerful storylines ever in game history. Legend of Zelda is quite a moving story. It really is. Fantasical story, and there's multiple stories through the games that have been on the 3DS to the Switch to the game that goes way back to the Wii, I think, to the Game Boy. There's a baseline story, but there is a lot to go off. So again, there is a lot of pressure on this director and the team to make this a good movie and to portray the story in a way that is going to move you and keep you captivated in the movie. And again, I think you would agree, when you're making a movie based off a game, it is a lot of pressure, and it's harder to do than if you're actually writing a story from scratch and then storyboarding it and filming it. With this, this is going off a game, and there's a lot of pressure from fans. Look at the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That got so much hate. Looking back on it now, there was a lot of people that enjoyed it, but a lot of people were like criticising it big time, being like, "No, it was wrong," and these were like Five Nights at Freddy's fans. So I think it's a lot of pressure to get it just right, to please all audiences. The audience that is like me, I'm not a massive fan of Legend of Zelda. I like it; it's a good game, but I'm not like captivated by it, if you know what I mean. It's not like I'm not that involved with it, but I'll just enjoy the movie, whatever it is. But then you're going to get the hardcore Legend of Zelda fans that have played every single game, and they're going to be literally watching every single thing, being like, okay, what? So it's so much pressure. But what I think, Matt, is this is a good sign. He's this optimistic. I mean, what do you think of this? Like, I think we couldn't have had a better director. Someone to go to the ends of the earth for a movie. Like, wow.
Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, briefly, what I would say is that you have got a company that knows how to make games and produce those, I suppose, equipment to game off of. You know what I mean, like the Switch, and for them to take something that's a game and put it into a movie is quite good. I feel like it gives a lot of people different perspectives. It's a bit like if you have a book and people have read books, but then they, you know what I mean, they want to see that book in a movie. They want to see that difference. And when you give them that difference, but it's still kind of like along those lines, or is the same thing that they read in a book, I feel like it makes it better, because they don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, they're watching the storyline instead of playing it. And for some people, I feel like they just want that, because there's some people that go on to YouTube and they'll watch for example,
The playthroughs.
playthroughs and people playing Zelda and other games, and I feel like for them having a movie is quite similar to that, and I feel like it gives them a better understanding as well to the storyline,
100%.
to the whole meaning behind Zelda and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, Legend of Zelda is possibly like a really emotional story. And you got Link, who is like the main character. Like, I think a lot of my friends who don't know anything about Zelda, they're like, oh yeah, when I played Legend of Zelda, Zelda was jumping around on the screen, and I was like, no, Zelda's the princess. Zelda's the princess, obviously. Princess Zelda. That's why it's called The Legend of Zelda. She's the princess, and then you got Link, who is the one that kind of saves her. And I do apologise if I butchered, because I've only played a couple of Legend of Zelda games. But I hated Majora's Mask, by the way, because of the awful game. Sorry, it's a very famous game, but I didn't like it. I hated the moon that blew up. But anyway, let's not talk about that. But yeah, if the moon is in the movie, the nostalgia's going to grow. I'm going to be sitting in the cinema and I see a moon with a face. I'm going to be like, uh-oh. That's the moon from Majora's Mask that blew up within the first 10 minutes of playing the game. But I think, I feel like all I'm going to say is that, again, I think we've already covered it here amazingly. You have as well. Like, there's a lot of pressure on them, but the director's so optimistic. They couldn't have chosen a better person for it, you know, like he's so enthusiastic.
Certainly. I feel like as well, though, is that I've noticed this with Nintendo. They like to do a lot of games, I would say, based off of struggling princesses being saved. It's a bit like Mario
there's a lot of
with
that,
Peachettes.
RPG sort of thing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a lot. There's a very big similarity there, I would say. I feel like that's their like forte. But no, I would say I'm gonna look forward to it. You know, I'm gonna watch
Go and
it.
See it. Yeah.
To be fair, we should actually do it. We should go to the cinema, watch it
with Rowan. Yeah, all three of us.
Yeah.
Like we did with the Mario movie.
Eli.
Eli. The thing is, when the Mario movie came out, I went to see that with Rowan, and Eli went to see it on the same day in the cinema. And we all came back and recorded the podcast after seeing it and like reviewed it in depth. So yeah, we'll do it. Let us know what you think of that, guys. Maybe we'll get a bit more intel into Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
but anyway,
comment and let us know.
Yeah, comment and let us know. Yeah, Matt's on the game. He's got the game on. You know, he knows how YouTube works. But anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, he can also comment on Spotify, by the way. So leave a comment.
Can you?
Yeah, you can. But anyway, story number 3, because it's getting long, but it's a good episode. Good long episode. A lot of content here. Last story, an interesting one at least. Level 5. Now, Level 5, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. It's one of the biggest game developers. Like, you got Capcom, Game Freak. You know, this is Level 5. They've made a lot of the puzzle games. Have you heard of the little Nintendo game series called Professor Layton?
I've heard of it.
Professor Layton, and then you got like Ace Attorney, and Level 5 I think produced them. But anyway, Level 5, it's a Japanese company. I'll just read the headline. Level 5 CEO says he would like to make violent and erotic games. Erotic, sexy, frisky games someday. Anyway, it's like the Level 5 CEO just like he's just like, no, we need more sex, we need more violence. It's too pure. Anyway, Level 5 CEO Akihiro Hino, that's his name, Japanese dude, has appeared in an interview with Goichi Suda, CEO of Grasshopper Manufacturer, which is another game company, I believe, which he expressed. It is Grasshopper Manufacturer. Even though I've never heard of that. In which he expressed his hope that the company could try its hand at erotic and violent games someday. However, Hino said that his extreme idea it's not on the cards right now, as his responsibility as head of Level 5 is continuing its various ongoing series and developing new IPs with its collaborators. Here's what he said. Hang on. If I were to put it in extreme terms, I would go as far as to say I want to make things like erotic games and 18+ games with violence. The creator comments while laughing. I do. There's an abnormal world inside of me. Sounds like the last words of a serial killer. But I'm trying not to go. But I'm trying not to go there. This is just comical. But look. Let me read that again. I do. There's an abnormal world inside of me, but I'm trying not to go there. Only making things from the righteous part of my mind instead. However, deep down, I really want to visit the abnormal world. I want to go that dark. The abnormal world. I think I'll definitely end up doing so. Once I feel that level 5 is stable and I have the room to make it what I want, I will do it. Laughs. Now, this is not like a joke. This is the level 5 CEO coming out saying that he wants to visit the world of sex and violence. Okay, all right. I mean, it feels like he's like had an awakening. Like secretly, he definitely has. How do I say this? He definitely has like a chamber in his house where things happen with his partner. I believe
maybe.
And he's like, and it's too like all the games he's made are very innocent. Level 5 produces a lot of innocent games, and they have got a good level of violence, I think, and a level of thrill to them. But they're not, they're just 12+ games. They're not like bad enough to be 18+. He's never made, but I just love how he's come out in an interview and be like, fuck all this, I want to be erotic and violent, and I want to make things that are extremely sexual to a level where it's 18 and over. Like, okay, it's random. I don't know what you would say. Like, it's just interesting. That's all I can say, and it's kind of comical that a CEO has come out and been that vulnerable.
Of course, I mean, I don't know what drives someone to, It's just the way he worded it. How he worded it sounded weird. You know what I mean? He did sound
the abnormal world inside of me.
It's like there's a darkness inside of me that I really want to, really wants to come out, but I'm holding it back because people wouldn't like it, kind of thing. And
it's
Obviously, no doubt we could check it out, see what it's like when it does come out and stuff. And
but he's basically saying that he wants to make games in that genre, which he's never done before, and it's just interesting because he's made some massive games that have hit big, like Professor Layton and The Lost Future and all that rubbish, and that was really good. I loved all that, but it's just funny that it's almost like he's fed up. He's like, fuck this. I want to make violent and sex. I want to do it now. Like there's a world inside of me that is too bad to share, but I want to share. I mean, here's the thing, in all seriousness, that is quite a brave move, because I feel like, once you've built up a reputation as a company as making games within a niche, that is a completely different niche of game, right? 18+ content. So erotic games, that would literally be, sex games. And right, let's be honest, there is a lot of that content out there that is consumed by adults. Okay, it's okay, but there is I think he could receive a level of hate for this, I guess. I mean, because what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with that sort of content, in my opinion, really. If you like that, you like that, You have to get a bit frisky sometimes. But that aside, I feel like when you've built a reputation up as, I don't know, let me give an example. Let's say McDonald's suddenly say, right, we're now going to start producing sex toys. I feel like they're going to get some sort of hate. Because, it's like he's not ever done this before, and all of a sudden he's now doing this niche, which is very argued about. Like, there's a lot of people out there that don't like that content and disagree with it being out there. For obvious reasons. I think some people can abuse that or use it over the top. I don't know. There's all sorts of reasons as to why people would hate that or dislike that content, and it's very much a thing.
It seems like obviously the content that they produce is rather child friendly. So for them to start going more mature and go into adult content is that big change. But I feel like as well as if you have an idea or a dream, so to speak, and that you want something, eventually it comes a point where you reach that breaking point and you're just like, I've got to, do it. Because a lot of people, they have dreams and they don't pursue them or they don't know how to get there. But this guy has the ability to make what he's thinking of or what he wants come true. So for him to do that, I feel like, it'd be logical of him to take advantage of that. But I feel like the reason that he's holding back is because, like you said, the backlash from the fans of Nintendo going, well, is this something that we really want? We like the innocent, games that are focused on any range of any range group, any age range group, to be fair.
I feel like as I said before, like, there is nothing wrong with that content, in my opinion. And, like, there's going to be, like, a majority of the people that are going to be like, yes, we want this. Okay, we'll try it out. But there's also going to there could be that risk of he loses engagement. Like, he will get probably hate for it. And I mean, the level 5 CEO, what's his name? Akihiro Hino, he's definitely a multi-billionaire. Like, Level 5 is one of the biggest companies within Nintendo that make games. They made a lot of games for a long time, and it's mainly anime kind of games. Like, there's like an anime sort of vibe going on with a lot of the games that come out. Like, you've got, I think, Ace Attorney, you've got Professor Layton, so many things that have come out. I think, I forget, there's so many other games that Level 5 have produced, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Professor Layton being one of them. But, like, they're all very emotional storylines, very good story, puzzling, all sorts of different games that they produce, and they're all, as you said before, like, within an age group of young, and they've never gone this far. But it's just, it's kind of comical and interesting that he's all of a sudden come out and been like, I have a world of. So it's almost like he's hiding a monster, like he's about to literally unleash the beast, his imagination, and it's gonna be interesting, I think, because Nintendo, I don't know, like, sexual games, right? There's a whole genre for it. Like, I've noticed, like, if you've got VR and stuff, there's a whole genre for that. That content, I think, is big on, I don't know, I think PC, VR, whatever. But, like, I've never really seen Nintendo do a lot of adult content. When I say adult content, I'm going towards the erotic side, sex games. I've not really seen it around, because Nintendo really is a family-friendly console, the more I think about it. I think,
I feel like their idea, it might be that they're trying to get a mixture, a range of people to be involved. I feel like, that they're trying to target more of the adult audience and older people to get on board. Yeah.
I mean, because there is an audience that consume that. And I feel like there is the fair play of games on the Switch that are probably are adult content, obviously, but, like, I just like how Level 5 has all of a sudden said they're going to start thinking of doing this. And I'll be honest, I want to see him do it. I want to see these erotic and violent games. I love a bit of both of them. I love a bit of friskiness, and I love a bit of violence. Got to have best of both worlds. So, am I happy with this? Yes, I think that it should be done. I think that these sexy, violent games should come out. What do you think, Matt? Do you think they should? Do you think he should let his imagination run wild?
I think I mean, it should come out. I feel like if you have an ambition, you should go ahead and do it. I mean, you've just got to see how it goes, I suppose. I mean, it's like anything. It's uncertain.
It's a shot in the dark.
Yeah. I would say go for it. I mean, let your mind run wild, like you've said, because it's all about creativity.
Yeah,
it's about
you don't want to live a life of
you
regret.
like and your ideas, and sharing it with individuals, and just, like, in that sense, hoping that they like it. But I feel like Nintendo's so big, they're at that stage in, like a lot of big companies, they can't really play that gamble of, I hope. They've got to be like, I know that people will like it. I know that this is what they want. So
I mean,
I feel like they'll release it, but they'll see how it goes, to depend on.
I mean, it's just like, you've made a good point there, though, because, like, Level 5 have got the ability to do that because they are a big company, but they're not that heard about. Like, just like F1, as you talked about earlier, Nintendo is a massive, company that, like, have companies that work for Nintendo. So you got Nintendo as a company that brings in all the money, and they're producers of Capcom, Game Freak, all these other games that they're like other producers under Nintendo that make games, like Level 5. Level 5 is a producing company under Nintendo. So they are bringing in money for Nintendo and themselves. And Level 5, I think, have got this creativity, because they're not as big as Capcom, for instance. Capcom is larger than Level 5. Or Ubisoft is larger than Level 5. So Level 5, if they are not that big. So, and I mean that respectfully to Level 5. Like, they are big. So for the audience that loves them, they're large. They've got a set audience that loves them. But I feel like they have got the space they're at a level now where they are pretty large within their audience. They've got a big audience, but they have got more space to aim high and shoot high. Because I feel like, yes, okay, this guy, he's into that sort of stuff, which is fair enough. He's into the erotic and violence, but do it, mate. You know, like, the worst thing is sitting on a bed, your deathbed, and regretting life. That's my biggest fear, of sitting in my deathbed and thinking like, oh, I wish I did this, but I just didn't because I felt like other people wouldn't mock me for it. Just do it. That's the worst thing.
I feel like a lot of people feel like that as well. I feel like that's a lot of people's fear, is that regret of not being able to take advantage of those opportunities that's been presented in front of them. And you know, you can't really be fearful of it, but the problem is obviously because it's a company and it's Nintendo, you know, they've got to, a lot of it has to be thought about, because one wrong move and that company could go down, and it doesn't just impact those people up at the top, it impacts the standard employees that do a lot of work for that company, that also have families and all of that. So I mean, you do take a massive risk and a massive gamble when you go to put your creativity above a lot of things.
But it's not like Pokemon are doing this. Like, I would understand the reason why, I don't know, let's just say Capcom, Game Freak, right, the ones that make Pokemon. Let's just say the next Pokemon games are going to be sexy and violent and 18+. There would be so much hate that would probably lose Nintendo so much money. So, you see what I mean? Like, but level 5, I bet you've never heard of level 5, right? Level 5 is it's big, but it's not at the same time. It's not like, it's known for those who know it. So that's why I feel like they have that space. Because yes, there is still a sense of, oh, you know, shit, if this goes wrong, it goes tits up, and then level 5 could shut down. But like, I think Nintendo wouldn't care. That sounds kind of nasty, but Nintendo, like, they're bringing in so much money from all the other companies that level 5 still have that opportunity. They've got responsibility, but it's not bigger. It's not the responsibility. The responsibility isn't as big as the other companies, so they can shoot in that sense, in that sector. And I think it's worth the try. But then again, they have got to think about it. I mean, what I'm saying is follow your dreams, no matter what it is, even if it is producing very sexy. Very sexy games. Do it.
Erotic games.
Erotic. The roll of the tongue. You know, you got that frisky. You know, you got to get in the bedroom and the beep. Can't say it, otherwise I get demonetized. But you
could say it, but you could just put in the beep.
No, I'm not going to say it. There's so many things I want to talk about right now because I'm a very erotic guy. Anyway, before this gets literally episode gets tits up. Literally tits up. Actually, no, that was a bad joke. But yeah, if you want to make sexy games, violent games, go for it. Don't lie on your bed, Mr. Hino, and be sad that you didn't make them. Do it, and I'll play one of your games. I'll review it on my my 18+ channel, which I do not have yet. My OnlyFans. Anyway. All this episode literally goes tits up. Let's have an ad break. It's time for an ad break, guys. Then we'll be back with your questions of the week. Ad break time.
Sorry to interrupt the episode. I'm Rowan Fern, the co-host of this podcast. If you're a regular listener to our podcast, you would know that me and Judah love to hear from our community. Every single week, we read out your comments and questions on the podcast. One viewer wrote in telling us how they found their wife directly through the popular 3DS game, Pokemon X. Bloody hell, you don't hear that every day. You can become that viewer by writing into our podcast email, jrsgaming135@gmail.com. That is jrsgaming135@gmail.com. I know all of you hate ads, so on with the show.
And we're back from the ad break. Those of you on the video have made it this far, and listen, I mean, if you're listening, you're only hearing our voices. But if you made it this far on the video, look at Matt. He's got a change. He's got his room is full of LED lights now. Like, he's don't know why he's not kept them off the entire episode, but he's now got a change. He's got his big LED lights. He's all bouged out. He's smoking a vape.
Oh yeah, we're chilling out.
He's chilling out. He's well chilled out. He tried to do O's at the break, by the way. While we were at the ad break, Matt started. He tried to blow some O's for the camera on his vape, and he just failed miserably. And he's trying again. Oh, that was a cool trick. I was saying to you before though, I feel like, well, if you're vaping or something, when we try and do the best O's, it's like when no one's watching. You're like, I wish my friends saw that, and then when you try and do it in front of your friends, it's like it just doesn't work. Like the amount of times it's happened to me, like I've just been like, I don't know, vaping or smoking, and I've done the O's on my own. I'm like, that is amazing. By the way, kids, do not smoke. Do not copy us.
Do not smoke or vape.
Do not smoke or vape. I mean, I don't vape or smoke on the podcast.
It's an expensive habit.
It's an expensive habit. It's an addiction. Look, Matt's addicted to drugs right now. He's a drug
Well,
addict.
it is a drug. It is a drug. Nicotine is a legal drug.
It's an addiction
that
Matt must fulfill.
Bad. Just don't do it. You'll regret it. Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to go into my personal addiction life because, you know, on the side I do a bit of hardcore. I'm joking, I don't. Anyway, as I was saying, question of the week, guys. We're going to now answer your questions of the week. This week we have a question in from Yumi, and Yumi has said, she has said, "Hey Judah and Rowan." Well, it's going to be Matt because Rowan's died. Well, he's poor, bless him, he's ill. But it's going to be Matt. So I'm going to say, "Hey Judah and Matt, hello from Japan." Nice. Japanese listener. My question is simple. Will you be coming to Nintendo Land in Japan? Maybe film here. I'm from Narita. That's Yumi from Japan. Now, Narita, I believe, is in Japan. My brain is dying. Narita is where Narita Airport is. That's all I know about Narita. But Yumi, thanks for writing in from Narita. She says, I mean, I guess it's going to be directed to me and you, Matt. Will we ever go to Japan, and will we go to Nintendo Land? First of all, you know I want to go to Japan. I love Japan. Everyone knows I love Japan. Yes, I do want to go to Japan. Of course I'm going to go to Nintendo World because I have an entire YouTube channel based off of Nintendo content and a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
I will be.
We spoke about it, didn't we? Because we said that we wanted to go to Japan to watch the Grand Prix in Japan.
F1,
yeah. Yeah, the F1 Grand Prix, the Tokyo one.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, certainly. I mean, I feel like it'd be good to do something like that because then that way you get more of a sense, don't you? Going to like Nintendo Land, you know, you get to speak to certain people, you get to see certain things. So I suppose so. I mean, I don't see why not, but you know, Judah just has to stop being lazy and get some income at the moment, innit, Judah?
It's bloody hard looking for a job in the UK, but yes, I am hoping to. I'm hoping to go to Japan. You know, it's a dream of mine, and yeah, I mean, me and Eli, the manager, were talking about doing this thing called that some podcasts on YouTube do, called a special. Like JR's Gaming Podcast special, where me and Rowan hold the camera and we do something active, like doing something.
A bit like a vlog, would you say?
Yeah, like a vlog. So me and Rowan go to Japan. We go to Nintendo Land for like a special. I mean, Matt, what's your opinion on Japan? I mean, you're on the podcast. Japan is like a massive thing to talk about.
The thing is that I don't know much about Japan.
Yeah.
But I've got to say that from what I do know, it's quite nice. I would definitely like to go. I mean, who doesn't really want to go around the world and you know, see the world, see other cultures? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's such a good experience. I love food, so the food thing for me is like really going there. You know what I mean? I'll be like a massive fat bastard over there. You know what I mean?
You'll be getting all the ramen.
I'll be there eating all the egg fried rice, whatever. You know what I mean? I'll just be eating all the noodles, everything, mate. Everything.
Yeah. Oh man, you got to try the Japanese ramen. Oh. Looks amazing.
Exactly.
Takoyaki. I want to get takoyaki.
Some, like,
octopus
street
balls.
Food ones in Leicester, but
it's
like you know, you want that proper authentic.
Yeah, you don't want to go to like
Japanese
the UK
ramen. You know what I mean? That someone's
actually
like,
go to
spent
Japan.
like their life doing. You know what I mean? And being able to produce, and you're like, this is what I came here to try. You know, I mean, like Japan.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful country like other countries are, you know what I mean? They have their own uniqueness about them, and I feel like, you know, going there to explore that and explore where Nintendo originated from and see how those people thought about it and stuff. I think it would be a good thing to do, and I've got to say, I'd enjoy to go to Japan and go to 100%. Nintendo Land. Yeah,
I'm trying to find him. There we are. I've got a friend who's a content creator. He's actually he's a Japanese guy. Bless you, mate. He's Japanese. Go and follow him on Instagram. His name is. He's got 28k followers. He's a YouTuber. He's called Daichi from Japan. But what he does is he goes around the UK. He's a Japanese YouTuber, and he tests out Japanese food in the UK and reviews it. So yeah, I mean, I happen to know him, but yeah, he's one of them YouTubers that I like to follow because they're Japanese themselves. So they know what the true shit tastes like. So when they come over to the UK, they review our sort of spin-off, because the UK is a multicultural society. So we have so many cultures here, and in some sense, there's like you do get that sort of, I guess, lost sometimes of where's British culture gone, because there's literally areas of the UK that seem like another country. They got all sorts of things like Chinatown, whatever. I mean, that's on the upside. You get to try all sorts of cuisine from all around the world in the UK, just in one country. But then again, there's all the argument that it's still not authentic. You've actually got to go to the country to try it out. That's the true authentic experience. And if you want to try,
certainly,
if you want to try the true authentic British experience, all you got to do is go into a pub, drink 10 beers, get punched in the face, and then walk home with 2 teeth left. That's the true British culture.
I mean, we'll just do like a Judah, you know what I mean, and just get bullied in a pub and
bullied. What are you on about? What do you mean?
For being such a lightweight, you know?
No,
what I mean?
What do you mean lightweight?
I'm joking. Judah's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. You see, man knows I'm all right. Man, I don't know about you, Matt. Don't know about you. Anyway, yeah. Let's not talk about our drinking life. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's been a good episode with you, Matt. Can't lie, this has probably been one of the longest episodes I've ever done. What is it, like 2 hours? I don't know, 1 hour?
Probably.
It seems 2 hours, but it's been long because we had a break. But anyway, we had a big, long, massive wad of content for you all, guys. It's all here. It's all here for you to see. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully next week Rowan and Eli are better, or Rowan can pop on and come back and co-host, because yeah, hopefully his voice is fixed.
I will certainly try and join that, you know what I mean? Try and get on here more often.
Matt wants to be a member. Yeah. Can he work his way up the ranks?
You know what I mean? I'm enjoying it. it.
You did boost our Discord server today, which is very nice of you. Very
nice
of you.
Of course. See, look, even the boosting colours are on right now for Nitro, you know what I mean?
Well, this is your plug-in then. Join our Discord server, guys. Join the Giles Gaming Podcast Discord server. Go on, we've got loads of people in there already. Come on, talk to us.
You never know. You'll catch us in the Discords or something like that. You know,
talk to us.
You'll catch us in the VCs, and you know we'll all be in there having a good laugh. And you might get to talk to us more personally. So if you've got any questions or anything or any ideas, join the Discord and let us know.
I do. There are people that hang out in our VC there, and I'll just join them. You just relax in a good relaxed setting.
Oh yeah,
talk to listeners. It's amazing. So yeah, join. But anyway, until next time. It's please send in your questions and comments to jrsgaming135@gmail.com, like Yumi did, for us to read out. My brain is backwards. Read out your bloody questions and comments, but and please subscribe and follow us on whatever platform you are listening from. I'm trying to read it out like precisely because I keep rushing this bit. And leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast, because this will help us out greatly and get the podcast around. Our socials will be in the description below. Our Instagram, our YouTube, our website. No, I'm messing it up. I messed the intro up and I'm messing the outro up. Our YouTube channel, our Twitter, our website, and our Discord server, which I just mentioned earlier. Join it now. But until then, it's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.